Every time we say goodbye, they all see that it's a lie. 'Cause we always give it one last try. Yeah, you've watched me break 1,000 times. Now I'm all alone, 'cause you never show. You say you will, but then you don't. That's how it goes. Don't wanna know. I'm turning off my mind so I get by. I just wanna be happy, happy tonight. Happier tonight. Happier tonight. Can't be waiting.
Absolutely, thank you very much. So I said we're going to be doing Volca any percent. And we're going to go into this little select screen here so we can go through all the little checkpoints basically in the game. Time begins as soon as when I go through here, and there will be a cutscene that starts immediately after this loading screen. I skipped that, and that is immediately when time starts. Time stops at the last cutscene, basically because it's like 2 minutes long. So I'll let you know when we get there. But in 3, 2, 1, let's go. So there's one thing immediately, like right off the bat. Primal initially came out like what was it, like 2000? Whenever it came out. Saints is the Japanese version that came out a whole year later. It had way more time to be in the oven, and that's the one reason why we do not use the Japanese version, unless you're doing glitchless. A glitched version, you really want to be using the PAL, or, well, preferably the NTSC version, like from North America. Because that one is, especially in this realm is the jankiest of all the realms. And it's also the quickest one, too. The second quickest one is Aquas. Don't mind the rope, it's just acting a little funky. And if you're looking for a really, really chill run, this is the run for you. We've been doing a lot of testing and stuff, and we found Scree Buffer. Well, I'm just calling it Scree Buffer because it doesn't really have a name. And how we first perform that is we get both of these characters separated as much as possible. You want a fairly decent stretch between them. So what we're going to do is leave Jen all the way back there, and we're going to take our friendly companion Scree here, who is meant to be our, our guardian or support, and in that strange demonic form that we're in, he helps us keep that up by giving us life vitae for different demonic forms that we do encounter. And I'm going to be bringing Scree over to basically the second kind of pale area here, and go, see that lengthy load screen? That is the trick behind this entirely. So I'm going to do that. And then you go back again, and immediately you get that lengthy load screen, and we're already out of bounds. And we're going to go all the way over here. Did I mention that this game is really jank? Yeah, this is probably where you're going to be seeing the most jank. A lot of people, even while playing casual, unfortunately wind up out of bounds in this section. It is the least polished, least finished, least whatever you want to call it. And what we're going to be trying to do is skip pretty much every story section in the triggers for this cutscenes as much as possible. And so first of all, yep, hello outdoors. I need to use this as leverage, because what we want to do is be going around this section here, and we want to be going through that door, and I've already just did a little bit too much, but nevertheless we're going to go down a little bit further. We do actually have to go at a certain threshold. Now believe me, it's way simpler than how I'm making it look right now. There we go. And through the door. So hopefully this now works. And I actually fumbled it. My bad. What you want to do is go through the door at a very specific altitude. If you go up too high, what'll happen is, excuse me, you'll be up, you're just gonna go out of bounds entirely. And if you're down too low, you trigger a cutscene, which is this one right here. So what I'm gonna do is just trigger that cutscene and I'll separate them entirely then again, which is completely normal, don't worry about it. And then after that, it'll be entirely chill. Because we can do this a different way too. We can do this entirely different. So I'm gonna just trigger that cutscene. Yeah, wow, everything is really dark in this volcano because currently it's inactive. And what we're just gonna do is go in a really weird workaround way. I'm going to make sure that our buddy here, with his torch and all, unfortunately we've activated the volcano, so Iblis is now awake, so this evil king entity, and I'm just gonna put Scree up this wall here. It should be enough to kind of separate them a little bit again, and then I'm just gonna get Jen back into the fairy form. It's nice when you're able to do the trick, because you're just able to skip that cutscene, you're able to skip a whole bunch, like so much stuff, but nevertheless. I'm gonna do that, and sometimes you can't change into the other demonic form straight away, you just need a little bit of time. You'll also probably see some really funky camera angles here, don't mind that, thanks devs. And then we'll just go straight back into our form. And we're just gonna run through here. So there's gonna be a little bit of extra time there, but it's not too much to worry about. So Scree is normally meant to be lighting up these little, this chamber door. But what we want most of all is momentum. And Scree is not far enough, is he? We just want as much momentum as possible while going through the doors, because that's essentially the secret between the two of them. And if this doesn't work, I'll just load a later checkpoint. It's no bother at all. Thankfully, this game has some wonderful checkpoints in the game entirely. And yeah, okay. Well, we tried. Okay, the audio's not going to be in French. Sorry about that. We're just going to go straight back down. The skip is usually easy until it's not easy. That's what I'm going to say. It's very easy until it's not easy. And I think actually, yeah, unfortunately we are going to have to go from the start. My bad about that. Don't worry about it though, it's like 10-minute run in total. It's the quickest run that you'll probably be doing in your own time. And I think the best realm though for this sort of thing is definitely Aetha, if you're looking for a longer section, because each and every part of the game is cut up into realms. Because if you're going to do the entire game, it's as one single run is about 4 or 5 hours. Glitchless anyway. With glitches, I don't know, you'd probably be cutting that down by, God, by a good chunk. Either to 2 hours, 2.5 hours. I've yet to do it, and I do plan on doing that at some point. And again, completely fun game. I'm not doing it any favors. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it too much. I'm gonna be making up for a lot of time in Manhunt. So we're just gonna pop Gem back down. We're gonna do that little section again. It shouldn't be too much of a bother. It's just that main entry point, because Scree Buffer is both incredible and also just one of those glitches that is like, hey, you get it or you don't get it. But it's all up to that momentum. While in that demonic form, the demonic form that Jen is in right now is called the fairy form. It's the first one that you get in the entirety of the game. And thankfully it's also the quickest. We did actually go into the game and start measuring just how quick things were. It's like 2 point whatever, like human form, what was it, like 1? The Jinn form that you saw there just a moment ago was 1.1 or something slight. It's marginally quicker than human, but the fairy form, yeah, you need the fairy form just to do this. And what's also cool about this is later on also gets very risky. Because you gotta go through certain doors that will have guards and whatnot, just kind of trying their best to keep you out. And I mean, you know, sometimes they do it, and other times they don't, but thankfully, If you hold down the triangle button, because I'm just playing this on the, it is an Xbox controller, but I'm going to pretend it's a PlayStation. That little diamond is your little extra crystal, your health vitae, so that if you're away from too far away from screen, what you can do is just you run out of your demon form, and then all of a sudden, whoops, it's a travesty. But hopefully, this is not high enough, but low enough. I think I may actually need to be quite. Yeah, we need to be much lower. Much lower than that. Then I'm gonna hope now that this is gonna be a-okay. So yeah, about there. You know, when you're a little bit lower than that, that's kind of where you want to be. You want to be about there. Yeah, perfect. And then we just actually do start going through doors this time. Alright, so first thing, you saw that little trigger before. Really? That is unfortunate. I think once you go through the door and you're out of bounds, you're kind of stuck out of bounds. Yeah, this is welcome to the void. This is hell. So inside there is now loaded, and now I'm just... Oh, this is a travesty. Considering the time, I might have to go with a further one. Let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can do. I'm sorry about this, by the way. Usually this is like the easiest thing you can possibly do. Because it's the quickest realm, etc, etc. Everything's chill up until that one little area. If you go through and you just see pure, like a white landscape or like that goldeny kind of tinge to the, yeah, it's over. I'm over. And it is the simplest thing that you can do. Once you get it, and it works pretty much throughout the rest of the run entirely. And everything will be chill. Trust me, I'm gonna be pulling up for this soon. I've never fumbled this so badly before. Well, there's always a first, I suppose, in speedrunning. It's that marathon luck, yeah, you're right. Everything was swell last night. It's always the way. But right now... They say third time's the charm in anyway, so this is it. This is where all the good luck starts coming back into play. This is where the good luck comes in. So one last time, we're gonna do this. Go back over to Scree. Make him go all the way back to the beginning, and then get that wonderful little stretch in between so that it's gonna be a long load rather than a short load. Short load bad, long load good. To perform the skip. It's just the fact you do need the momentum. The Ferri form, unfortunately, though, is the weakest. Naturally, this is the last realm that you go into. So, yeah, you really want the strengthy, the bulky Jin form. And unless you don't, I mean, that's actually pretty fair. You're quicker in Ferri form. In both movement and attacks. So it's pretty cool, I think. It's just a very finicky kind of little skip. And one thing that is going to help you kind of achieve this easier, and you can do this on console, whatever you got, just it'll work no matter what. Even in preview builds, it'll work there too. So long as there's enough of a gap between the two of them. And I mean, the preview builds are already glitchy enough as it is. The preview builds. Yeah, a lot, like there was another one that was made available there very, very recently. Now we're still too high. And that one actually was really cool. This game was initially meant to be Fable. I was telling, there we go, perfect. I was telling that behind the scenes. So while it was meant to be Fable, it turned into this entirely different project. There we go. Third time's the charm. So we had that little cutscene earlier. Didn't happen because we're just marginally above the trigger for that. We used to do this and we'd be too low. And then she's like, ah crap, what are we supposed to do? This is not gonna work here. No. Tova98, he's another Primal speedrunner. He found this glitch. I don't know how he managed it, but fair play to you, because I am using the heck out of it right now. And then you just get to go through here. Usually this whole area starts lighting up because Scree would be with you and you'd have the torch. And then you'd have to go through a whole host of enemies and whatnot. And thankfully we don't have to do that anymore. We can just run. We're meant to be doing puzzles over here too, but you know, I don't really feel like it. So here's another wall. We're gonna stay in bounds and then just run down the lava. The lava doesn't hurt. And then we're gonna magnetically attach yourselves to the floor again. But don't worry, if you've also played this game yourself in your own free time, I'm pretty sure you may have gone out of bounds a good few times in Volca itself. It's so dodgy here and there, specifically when you're trying to cross things. There's one natural area where you just go out of bounds, and it's just, well, whoops. Oh yeah, she's French now, my bad. Well, we're just gonna be going through, well, in French. We're gonna be hearing a lot of, s'il vous plaît. I'm not exactly sure what she's saying, but it translates to, it's a bit dark in there. And then we're going to try another skip. There we go. We have enough momentum that we should go through the lava. We're not getting that though. We're meant to be seeing on the bottom a little bar indicating you've taken damage. And we're going to do it one more time. I'm going to chance it. There we go. There's the bar to kind of say, hey, you've gone through the lava and you've also gone out of bounds again. Usually, yeah, there we go. Just keep running. You'll go back in bounds. There's a whole... Excuse me, my voice is a little bit bad today. But there's a whole bunch of triggers. And this one will also give you like, oh, it's a bit dark in there. And then it'll trigger like, you can go through and start doing this one-hit kill sort of fight against Jen at one point. And it's like all opposite here entirely. You can actually get stun locked pretty bad. That's like one of the kill points for doing a full run of the game, but yeah. Excuse me again. One thing about the trick though as well, if you let up when holding up after directly going over like to perform the skip, you do get a lot more leverage by just letting up on hitting forward and letting the momentum do its thing naturally. And then you can try to chance pressing up, but sometimes you're not going to go through, unfortunately. I'm not sure why, that's the thing, but it is what it is. So this is usually where we be, like the midway point. Kind of like, hey, there's a queen in here. We don't see her, but she's meant to be there. Melikel. And she's meant to give you the power, like, because the first form of the Jinn power that we get is meant to be tainted by Iblis's power, and then it's just like, because we're a hybrid, we're half human and half demon, it's like, oh, I want one too. We say no, and he says, too bad. So then you have to go this whole loop around the level just to get Jen back on your side, because she doesn't realize she's under Iblis's domain at that point. So we're just going through all the doors. We don't need to talk to anybody. You know, it's a great run if you just don't want to talk to anybody, if you feel a little introverted. It's cool. We're probably going to get the... It's a bit dark in there. Yeah. So you'll hear a little bit of battle music now in a moment, which is done by 16 Volt. This game actually introduced me to them. They're pretty... I like their original stuff. But it's a completely randomized song each and every time. And there's a lava pit over here. Normally we need Scree to close it up so that we're able to go through and then both parties go in under. Thankfully the lava does not injure us, so we're just going to go through it too. Yeah, just like that. The power of Scree buffering, or Scree skip, is not to be taken lightly. People might say corners are just mere suggestions. The doors are mere suggestions in this game, so we got that going for us. This section is usually where somebody might go out of bounds by accident, by jumping over these rocks. I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna do this. Because you can go around them rather than just through them, because it takes too much time to do that, so we're just gonna go around and then go and teleport magically back onto the platform over here. Hey, there we go. So this whole realm is basically just a giant volcano, so you're just not really going to see much more than that. For whatever reason, I was never able to get out of bounds using the first section, like going straight ahead. I have to go onto the stone here in order to do it. Because normally you have to go up and around, like you have to make that statue fall down with Screw's power and whatnot, and you know, you don't need to do that now anymore. If you want to do this, there you go. Problem solved. Now here's where the memes come in. Is it left? Left. There's a big meme, especially in Solemn, where everybody just wants to keep going to the right-hand side, because you're just naturally gravitating towards it, or you forget a key. And there we go, we got hit there by one of the door guardians, but nevertheless, we're still alive. But there's a big meme. Thankfully that time it came through. The meme's just left. Because most of the time you're just gonna have to wind up going left at some point, and it's usually most of the time. So... But it always feels like you should be going in the opposite direction. I don't know, in a lot of games it's just you wind up going right instead. This one's left. Then we go through this door here again. Yeah, Screw's just kind of like, ugh, I don't get to do anything here. And I don't think I have enough momentum here, we'll see though. Sometimes it can be a little bit deceiving in how it looks, but if we don't go through the first time, we can go through the second time. These doors are way easier to go through though, compared to the giant ones that you need Scree to light up the oil for in order to get it to drop down. These ones are way simpler, so if you're ever like these ones, these are the more difficult ones to go through. So normally you have to just get all of these like 4 little lava things going, so that the door just like crashes down. And thankfully we don't have to do that either. So we're soon to be approaching the Hall of the Gods. And the Hall of the Gods, you can trigger the cutscene there for accidentally, but Scree doesn't appear with you because he's just so far away, I guess. So if it ever happens, don't worry about it. And this is the Hall of the Gods, so we just go out here, out of bounds through here, so that we don't actually trigger the cutscene, because they just didn't extend it beyond like the flooring for some reason. I don't know, or whereabouts it is. But if you stay around here, you should be good. This area is such a time sink, so being able to do this feels very cathartic in a way. You have to get all these strings just to like tear them down by using Scree's torch, and then you gotta possess that statue and then make it go over here so that you can form a bridge for Jen to get across. And nah, no bueno. So I just like doing this now. And there's this guy. So we can either get a good one or a bad one. It's a 50-50. It's a gamble each and every time. Are we gonna get hit? Ooh. I think we're okay. I don't think we're getting smacked. Sometimes he'll smack you and you just gotta try it again. And sometimes he'll smack you so much you lose your fairy form entirely. But we got very, very lucky there. And we got some nice little music as well to go with it. Now we just gotta go right. Yeah, okay. Again, that should be fine. It's very easy to just keep going straight there, because when you go straight ahead, you get the Rift Gate area so that you can fast travel. That's what the Rift Gate system is. It's essentially a quick travel, and you can also go back into the Nexus, which is the starter point, where Screw will bring Jen. And, yep, okay, Goliath Sanctum, we are actually come to an end here, almost. I'll let you know when time's about to strike, but yeah. It genuinely is, once you get the trick, and you get the trick, that's it. That first part is all you need. Really, yep, here's the last boss. And we're just gonna do this one more, like, well, I think it's like 3 more times, and then that's it. That's it for the run. Iblis is in the center. He's just kind of hanging out. And Jen is just really interested in the inside of the statue for some reason. And then we just kind of go our merry ways. We're not going to fight the boss. We don't have to fight the boss. Again, the game is just very, very, very jank. And I love the game for it, partially because of that reason. I don't know, jank games are just some of the best games that you can find sometimes, and this is definitely one of them. Instead of just going back and forth between Jet and Scree to go out of bounds and around those things, we're just gonna do that. And 3, 2, 1, time. Okay. So, this cutscene's like 2 minutes, so we had to put time there. Yeah, that is Volca. Thank you. I should... So that'll be it for Primal.
Comme si on pouvait lui faire confiance. On l'a sorti mon cul.
Au pied de ce précipice, il y a une faille.
Comment le sais-tu? T'es déjà venu? Scree, nous devons descendre et pas monter.
For you in the morning, I'ma leave without giving a warning. I'ma leave without giving a. But every time we say goodbye,